Hello students, my name is Mr. Harshal Nezkar and we are studying the subject of basic human rights, and this is lecture number 14. In last lecture we have studied the social problems that are arising in our country, and in the last lecture itself we have studied the problems like poverty and the housing problems that are present in current scenario. Alright, so in continuation with those problems that are arising in our society, we are going to study the further parts or the further problems that are present. All right. So let's start to the lecture with a social problem of illiteracy that is present in our society. So basically, the illiteracy in India has since long before independence, and it has been regarded as an obstacle to the development. Obviously, it is the basic definition. So let's now understand what kind of people are called as the illiterate people. All right. So those people who can read but cannot write are considered as the illiterate ones. All right. The formal education in school, it is not necessary for a person to be considered as literate. So basically, the presumption to the literacy is considered as if someone is went to school or not, and based on that particular assumption is considered literate or illiterate. But the formal definition to this particular concept of illiteracy is that it is not necessary for a person to attend the school to consider as a literate person. All right. So the ones who can read and write the same language are considered as the literate person. For that, you need not to go to the school. The UNESCO has defined a literate person as the one who can understand both reading and writing a short, simple statement on his everyday life. All right, so UNESCO has defined a particular concept of literacy as the person with the understanding of both reading and writing a short, simple statement that is he is being using for his everyday life. All right. So the let's understand the causes of illiteracy that are present currently. The first cause is the high rate of population growth that is increasing every day. It is in relation to low rate of adult population gaining literacy. All right. So basically, that is the first reason to the illiteracy is the population growth. Then the second reason is the ineffectiveness of primary schools. Obviously, the primary schools that are available in the uh, village region that are enrolling and retaining the students, they have they are not that much effective as that of the schools in cities and towns. All right, so the next cause is the traditional outlook of lower caste people, and it is using young children for their occupation. So basically, the economic condition of the lower caste people, it is also causing the children in their particular caste to retain them as the illiterate ones. All right, so we will move to the next cause, that is the high level of poverty. Obviously, the poverty is the basic social problem, and due to that particular poverty, the persons in the poor region, they retain as the illiterate people, already illiterate people. Then there is the non-conducive educational policies of the state government or central government. All right, so there are no basic sufficient educational policies that are governed by the state government or the central government, and also there are no sufficient amount of funds available to the to inoculate this particular concept of illiteracy by the governments. All right, so these are the causes causes of the illiteracy. The strategies and plans we will study in the next lecture with the strategies and plans that are provided by the government for the food supply problem also. So before studying that particular strategies by the government or plans by the government for illiteracy, we will study the problem of food supplies that is present in the our society. All right. So basically, the food security, it exists when all people at all times have physical, social, economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food, which meets their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. This particular definition of food security, it was published by the Food and Agriculture Organization in the year of 2002. So basically, the food security, it exists when all the people of the society, they have physical, social, and economic access to the sufficient, safe, and nutritious food, and that particular food, it should meet their particularly dietary need and food preferences for an active and healthy life. So that is the definition for food security. Now we will understand these particular three dimensions of food security. The first one is the availability of food, the food production within the country, food imports, and the previous year's stock stored in government granaries. So that is the first dimension of food security. That food security has to be retained by the government with the ample amount of food production. Then the food imports that need to be imported from the other countries. Then the previous year stocks that should be stored in the government granaries. Then there is the next dimension, that is the accessibility to food that is stored in this particular government granaries to the each and every person of the society. And the last dimension is the affordability, the food affordability to an individual. All right, and he has to have enough money to buy the sufficient, safe, and nutritious food. All right, so that is the basic three dimensions of food security. First, the food availability, then food accessibility, and food affordability. All right, then the poorest section of the society might be food insecure most of the times, while persons above the poverty line might also be food insecure. All right, so basically, what it states, the people, those are in the poorest section, they might be food insecure most of the time, but the people above the poverty line, they might also be in food insecurity when the country faces the problems like the earthquake, drought, tsunami, food, flood, or feminism. All right, so basically these are the problems that might send the people above poverty line also to the food insecurity. All right, so we'll study the present scenario of food security in India. So India is a home to more than 230 million undernourished people. All right, so that is the report of uh, Food and Agriculture Organization in 2008. So basically, the 230 million people are undernourished, or they are not accessible to the ample amount of food that requires for active and healthy life. That is almost about 21% of the total population. All right, so about half of the population suffers from chronic undernutrition, especially the children, women, and the elderly people. Those are the we call them as the lower income groups. All right. Then the rise in food prices between 2005 and 2007 increased poverty by 3% on an average. All right. Extrapolating these results globally suggests that as a result of the rise in food prices, total world poverty may have increased by 73 to 105 million people. So this is the data from the uh, World Bank report in 2008. So basically, the price issue, it also affects the food insecurity. Then there is the rising prices have increased 41 million hungry in Asia alone and 24 million hungry people in sub-Saharan African countries. Among the farmers, 84% are the marginal and small farmers operating not more than 2 hectares of land. So we will study this particular part in the next slide. So let's discuss about the major issues in achieving the food insecurities in India. So there are basically 5 major issues. So among them, the first one is the price rise issue. So presently, the inflation in food articles is more than the general inflation. All right. So this inflation in India, basically it is due to the inflation in the food articles. The 2010, it was the volatile for food and agriculture sector in terms of high prices of essential commodities. The year of 2010, it was the most important year uh, in which the food inflation got its peak point. The world food prices in 2010, they reached to the highest level during the last 20 years. Continued volatility in prices harms poor and undermines the food insecurity and livelihood of most vulnerable. All right. Then there are poor people, those spend 60 to 70% of their income on only food. So basically that income problem is also there for the poor people who had to spend about 60 to 70% of their income on the food articles only. Then rising food and commodity and oil prices have increased the general inflation and thus affects the mobility, morality, cognitive abilities and growth of the society. Rising food prices affects the social programs, protection programs and the MDM. So that we'll study in the next lecture. Then there is the next major issue that is causing the food insecurity is the production and agrarian issues that are causing. All right. So basically, the farmers in our country, the suicides of farmers, it have continued and increased in some of the major states like Maharashtra. Then there is limited exposure of domestic agriculture to international competition. So basically that is the problem for production of agricultural products in our country. Then there is steeper decline in per capita land availability. The land availability to per person is a very low nowadays. All right. Then farmer is becoming a non-viable activity and scope for increase in net sown areas is limited. Then there is increase in land degradation in the form of depletion of soil fertility, erosion and waterlogging. So basically the limited land that is available to the per person, it is also degrading in the form of the soil fertility or the depletion of soil fertility, the erosion of soil and the waterlogging problems. Then there is decrease in the surface irrigation expansion rate and in-ground water table. The water level in ground it is also decreasing. Then there are disparities in productivity across regions and crops between rainfield and irrigated areas. So also there are decrease in the production of the crops. So these are the issues that are included in the production of the agricultural products. All right, and they are causing the food insecurity in our country. So this is the particular table. It shows the percentage annual growth rate of projected demand and supply. So basically nowadays we have this particular rice it has demand of 1.55%, but the supply from our production of agricultural areas, it is our around 1.01% only. So that is causing the food problem of rice only. All right, so while discussing for wheat, the demand is 1.42%, but the supply is only 1.34. And like that wise, the sugar has the demand of 8.22%, but the supply is only of 0.41, and that particularly causes the inflation in food articles or foods like sugar, wheat or rice. So that basically causes the food insecurity. Then there is a issue of consumption of food. The percentage of population consuming less than 1890 calories per day as food insecurity. So basically the state of food insecurity in rural India. All right, the that particular report, it shows that the people that are consuming less than 1890 calories per day are considered as the food insecure people. The nutrition among children, women and the elderly people, it is very poor. The World Food Program, it estimates that 50% of the world's hungry people live in India alone. Then one third of the newborn people, newborn babies, they still weighs less than 2.5 kg at birth. So basically the newborn baby, it should have the weight of at least 3.5 kg at birth, but the one third of the newborn babies, it has the weight of 2.5 kg only. Nearly 9 out of 10 pregnant women are malnourished and anemic. The anemia in pregnant women, it causes the 20% of the infant mortality. All right, that is the ratio. That is the 20% pregnant women, they cannot give birth to a healthy baby. Due to low income, the rural poor people are unable to consume the adequate amount of cereals, meat, fish, egg, fruit, and vegetable, etc. are more expensive source of energy, which the rural poor people are unable to afford. The adequate income in earners are also they also suffers malnutrition due to the lack of awareness about the nutritious food and feeding practices. So basically that is the issue of food consumption. Then we have the food distribution issue. The PDS provides the essential consumer goods at a cheap and subsidized price to the consumer. For targeting better below poverty line people, the TPDS divides the entire population into BPL and APL categories, that is below poverty line and above poverty line. The distribution of food grains, it is governed by the scale of allocation and offtake by the beneficiaries. The offtake of food grain has gone up compared to the scale of allocation of the food. All right, then allocations of food grain for the below poverty line and AAY categories are made at 35 kg per family per month for all accepted 6.52 crore below poverty line families. So basically the government has allocated 35 kg of food per family per month. The allocation of above poverty line category has been increased from 10 kg to 15 kg per family per month from August 2010 for 6 months. The per capita availability of food grains, it has increased in the respective years. All right. Then the government has been increasing the food subsidy in the last few years. So basically that is the distribution issue in front of the government. And then there are the other issues like food wastage. All right, the Indian families, they spend huge money in marriage ceremony and other functions, in which about 15% of the food that is being consumed, it goes to the wastage only. The government discussion is going on to reenact the Executive Guest Control Order of 1960s, but still it has been not yet finalized. Then there are no proper storage or warehousing facilities available throughout the countries. So basically these were the food issues and illiteracy social problems. All right, so we will stop here. If you have any doubt regarding any concept or any social problem that has been discussed in this lecture, you can comment down below. And in the next lecture, we will study about the strategies and plans of the government that has been carried out for the problems of illiteracy and food supplies. So we'll stop here. Thank you for listening lecture.